This man and his team have been tearing it up this season, shocking most people by surging to the top of the table. Nobody expected this. What makes this more impressive is the main man, the main striker they bought, has been injured most of the time, and the guy they bought in January, Trossard, in this new system, has just carried it on. So today we attempt to recreate this new Arteta false 9 tactic in Football Manager. Let's go. Right crew, excited about this one. I've just had one of the most fun seasons I've played on FM using this new Arteta kind of pep version of a false 9 tactic that is brought in with the January transfer window signing of Trossard. Now there's my man Trossard. We have won the league title, which we'll get to, but Trossard was vital in it in the false 9 role, and you can see there he scored 23 times with 11 assists as well in the league. And this version of the tactic was born because of our man Gabby Jesus there. Too many injuries. And they brought Trossard in, adapted the way they play. Fair play, man, fair play. You can see I hardly used Jesus either. Most of his games were Europa League and Cup games. A couple of games in the Premier League, but mostly off the bench just to try and get this false 9 version sorted. So here's the league table in a bit more detail. We won the league by 8 clear points. We only lost the 4 matches for goal difference of 67. We actually drew 8 times. So if we tweaked it a bit more, we probably could have got a little bit better. But I want it to remain as close to the way Arsenal play as I can for the sake of the recreation. Tell you what, some lovely football. I guess you know you're onto something when you manage to beat Man City at home and away, not conceding a goal, not even to the Cyborg. And there was also a little fact of the North London derby, which ended up 8-2. Yeah, straight up 8-2. It was 5-1 at half time before the red card as well. Wild. Right, overall for the season, we won the league and we won the Carabao Cup. Now, the FA Cup and Europa League doesn't look too impressive, but consider this. I didn't play the main team in Europa League at all. If you take Martinelli, for example, Gabby Martinelli, played all his games in the Premier League, 17 in 34, great return. But if you look down his season stats there, not a twinkle of the Europa League and only 1 FA Cup game. So I just wanted to keep them fresh. So we played a reserve kind of team in the Europa League. Having said that, they went mighty close, you know, 4-3 against AC Milan, out 5-6 on aggregate. You can see the team down the side there. So you got the likes of Matt Turner in goal, Rob Holding playing. Akanji was brought in late in the transfer window because all my players were dead. Only transfer I made all season. And the likes of Jacob Kawar there, Eddie and Ketia, and that's when Jesus played. But the season as a whole was nuts, man. It was nuts. We started off superbly. I thought, we're onto something here. The big results were coming in. We're smashing the likes of Leicester. There's that Tottenham game. Up until the mid-season break for the World Cup, hadn't lost a game. I thought, are we going to do another invincible season here? We go into the winter break. We actually lost a friendly to Marseille, but then we came back, beating Tottenham on penalties in the Carabao Cup. West Ham got a good battering, 5-0. We still hadn't lost at this point. There's the Man City game. We actually got knocked out of the FA Cup by Villa on penalties. There's that Milan game. And can you believe we lost our first game of the season to West Ham, who were at the time bottom of the league? But what can you do? So champions with the best goal scoring record and the best defensive record as well. Not blooming bad. Odegaard to stand out with 16 assists. Saka with 10 assists and 13 goals. Trossard in that false 9 role with 23 goals, 11 assists. And Martinelli with 17 goals and 9 assists as well. So we're sharing it out just like they are in real life. Let's not forget the defensive side. Ramsdale with 25 clean sheets in all competitions. We wrapped up the title spanking Liverpool 4-1. Now you know what Liverpool are like on this game. Trossard with a hat-trick including a pen. Now we're onto something. I think it's time I showed you this tactic, right? Right, let's start at the back. So we've got Aaron Ramsdale as our sweeper keeper. I think he's widely regarded as one of the better keepers with the ball at his feet. And then across the back 4. So we've got Zinchenko used as an inverted wing back, just like he was at Man City. Super comfortable on the ball. And the centre-back pairing of Gabriel and Saliba, both comfy on the ball as well. Ball-playing defenders. Player instructions, by the way, will be available at the end of the video. Then we've got Ben White. I didn't feel like he was a wing back. More of a solid full back, but still supporting to just get himself quite high up as well. So there you see it in match. There's the back 4 across there. Ben White a little bit wider. Zinchenko here will shortly move in as the game progresses, and he fills into this gap in here. Saliba confident with the ball at his feet. And Ben White ready to link up. So your midfield too, you've got Thomas Partey, who's basically anchoring it all down. We've got him as a ball winner to make sure we win the ball back. And we've got Xhaka as a volante. Now Xhaka as a volante People may think he's a more of a defensive-minded player, but I can see him getting forward and backing up that support, albeit from a deeper position. Nice pairing. There you can see Xhaka and Partey. There's our pause it. Xhaka's always going to be a bit more advanced, and Partey kind of watching over things as games progress. So with Partey holding it, allows Xhaka to get a bit further forward, and the odd pile driver doesn't hurt. Oh. And then we move on to the famous four up front, and this is where it gets a little bit funky. So we've got Saka on the right hand side as an inverted winger. Some may use him as an inside forward. Totally understand that, but I just think he's got a few more winger tendencies, so we're going to keep him on that. In next to him, we've got Odegaard, advanced playmaker. Now, a lot of people may think start him a bit deeper, but he gets so far advanced, and he's still allowed to roam around. I think that's the perfect place for him. Martinelli on the other side, I'm pretty confident that he is an inside forward, supplying that goal threat. And it's absolutely vital when we've got Trossard here as the false 9. So you can see this gap here, it's a little bit asymmetrical. But the reason for that is in match, Trossard will drop into there. So we've got like a strikerless system forming. And as he drops, this is where Martinelli bursts into life, getting into there like that. That's how he managed to score 17 goals this season. Saka on the other side in double figures as well. And Trossard, well, we saw how good his season was. So as a false 9, absolutely superb. Goals like this where they're all in conjunction together, Odegaard to Saka to Martinelli, then arriving late from the false 9 role, Trossard. Okay, to show this in motion, here is a game against Tottenham and the front four are highlighted. Keep your eyes on Trossard and his movement to drop in deep and allowing Odegaard, Saka and Martinelli to exploit that gap. So Gabriel's got it. Take a look at Trossard, he's dropping in, hardly moving. Now he's dropped deep, look at him, asking for the ball. Thomas, and there he is, he's deepest, he's probably the most deep of the players. And in fact, he's the striker, remember. Now, not only Martinelli, Odegaard, Saka, now Xhaka as well, all ahead of Trossard because he's dropped in and this space is being attacked by them guys. Comes to Ben White, Trossard's now joining them. Here's Saka, little cross in, Odegaard puts it in. So there is your team in full. Let's have a look at the team instructions now as well. So welcome folks to my version of Arteta's false 9 tactic, the Sting Teta. False 9, like what I did there. You can see that's the formation that we've just gone through. I will say this as well, there is another version. The odd away game, I did play that. It's not massively different, no rules change, mentality changes, a bit of out of possession work changes as well. That sort of one I use for the likes of Chelsea away, Liverpool away, United away, City away, you know what I mean? And then if the game's gone well, we flip straight back to Sting Teta 9. Lovely, lovely tactic, great to play, super enjoyable. Taking a look at the team instructions. So for the home formation, I do go with positive. I've played a load of cautious this year on FM, but because I'm recreating the way Arsenal play, they are aggressive, they are positive. So in possession, short passing with a higher tempo. We're passing into space. We're playing out of the defence. Let's make use of these players who are technical on the ball. Think your Zinchenko's and your Ben Whites. We're going to work the ball into the box and we're going to take advantage of the skill that we've got by running into defence. In transition, pretty basic stuff. Counter pressing and countering. And asking Mr. Ramsdale to get rid of the ball quickly. So out of possession, pretty simple, standard with a high press. We will bump that line up if we need to. Pressing much more often. Again, that drops off if we get a lead and we're trying to keep a bit of condition. Get stuck in. Once again, take that off if your yellows are starting to rack up. And that's it. That's the Sting Teta false 9. The actual download for this tactic will be in the TMS Discord. Play instructions will be at the end of the video. I thought I'd give it a little one season run over in Holland in the Eredivisie with AZ Alkmaar. I'll bear in mind when I get to the results of this one. Just a holiday, I didn't flip between two tactics, so if they were playing Ajax away, for example, they played this one, where normally I would revert to this, but this is what happened with them. So they finished in second place behind Feyenoord. Not a bad season at all. If you look at it in a bit more detail, only losing the 5 matches, quite a distance behind Feyenoord, but it's because they drew 10 times. So little tweaks as if I actually played this, I'm pretty confident we'd get a little bit higher up. There was one standout fixture though. Everyone knows how much Ajax dominate the Eredivisie and we battered them 3-1 and it was pretty deserved as well. So I'll leave you there folks. Player instructions for each position are on the way just next. There's the league. Arsenal win it. I just hope in real life that doesn't actually happen.